Guitar pickups, Strat pickups, how do they work? What are they? Well, they're pretty simple. Flat work, bottom piece, top piece. You got some Alnico magnets. You install them, not obviously like I'm doing here for this purpose, but that's kind of what it would look like, essentially, not all warped like this, but it's what it looks like with 6 magnets and no wire on it. And once you've wound some wire, kind of looks like this. And then with some wire, you get some lead wires on there. So you get a couple lead wires, right? See if you can see those. And that is what gets installed in your guitar. And, you throw your favorite colored cover on there. And, you've got your pickups. Now, this is the engine to your guitar. This is the source of the sound that comes out of your guitar. Everybody talks about, the wood from the guitar, your amps, your pedals, your strings, everything under the sun, typically, but pickups. And when you strum and you disrupt that field, well, that field is determined by how much these Alnicos are saturated and magnetized. And Alnico 2s and 5s, they all saturate at different levels. And, I have a magnetizer that can magnetize them all at different levels, depending on the voicing that I'm going for. And the way these wires go on, that also affects how it's going to sound. Whether you have 8,000 winds or 6,000 winds or 10,000 winds or whatever you're doing, and how the wire goes on, the scatter wind, the tension in which that wire's being held at while it goes on, the speed this bobbin is spinning. There's a lot of different variables that kind of tech out the specs of, why certain sounds come out of certain pickups. At the end of the day, everybody's kind of using the same components. Factory ones, maybe a little bit less. You buy a guitar from overseas for really cheap, you're probably going to have cheap components, and that ultimately means a cheaper sound. And as a player, you got to kind of figure out, what's worth it for you. Sometimes pickups aren't worth it, or you can't hear the difference. Maybe you can't. But at the end of the day, that's how simple a pickup is, and it is the engine. And like anything, from recording to you name it, guys are spending big money on, running a patch cable, real high-end patch cable from their guitar to their amp, and they're fighting with amps. And meanwhile, they may be ignoring the source of that sound. And that's extremely important for me. I'm a guy that's played for, 4 decades now, and I don't really use pedals, and I honestly at times don't care what amp I use as long as it has the headroom for me. Pickups work, and I've been playing my B94s since 1994, hence the 94s. But check us out, thebtone.com. That's really how simple pickups are. There's no magic to it. It's just the attention, the detail, and the quality of the components that really count at the end of the day. Cheers.